All right, well, here we are, ladies and gentlemen, at episode number 100 of the HKT Podcast. I want to say, before we drop in on this episode, a couple of things. First up, a massive thank you to everybody out there that has helped support this podcast, that has helped it grow, that has been involved. If you've been a guest and you're listening, thank you so much. It's really, really appreciated. To be at an episode 100, it's kind of surreal. I never expected to get to episode 10, so to get to 100 is rather mind-blowing. Let's hope we can get to 1,000. Who knows? But yeah, massive thank you to everybody out there. If it wasn't for you people listening and getting involved, then I would 100% still not be doing this. So thank you. It's appreciated. I hope everyone out there is safe and well. Again, before we drop on this episode, I understand that we are not fully out of this lockdown situation, even though Ollie and I have stopped doing the lockdown companion. It's still gnarly out there, folks. So be safe, look after each other, and positive vibes to everybody out there that's still in some form of lockdown or struggling, whether it's financially, emotionally. Yeah, let's look out for each other, guys. It's an amazing community we've got here in mountain biking, and we're lucky to have an amazing hobby, which means we can go out and be out in nature. So if you are struggling, my advice is to do more of that and speak to people. It makes a big difference. So yes, speaking of thank yous and all that sort of stuff, let's give a big up to some of our show sponsors. This episode of the podcast is brought to you by Works and their HydroShot portable pressure washer. The Works HydroShot is unlike any other pressure washer on the market, as it has a super unique and useful feature. The Works HydroShot uses a PowerShare battery and draws fresh water from any source, no matter how remote you are. All you got to do is dip the hose in a stream, a river, a puddle, or a bucket, and voila, you can wash your bike right by the side of the trail or easily at home. Personally, I always have to wash my bike before I get home because I have to store it in the house, which means that it's almost been a relationship saver because I'm no longer dragging in mud or any other brown coloured material around the house after a ride. The rotating head allows switching from mist through to pulsating sprayer capable of eliminating caked on dirt. The HydroShot is available in numerous models, includes a full kit version with a soap bottle attachment. There's a body-only version, and there is also a new brushless model too. It is capable of producing up to 10 times the power of a water hose. The HydroShot includes the 20-volt PowerShare battery that you can also use to power your Works 20-volt tools. Share the batteries, save money, save the planet. The HydroShot is available to buy from select retailers only, which include Amazon, Argos, Halfords, Toolstation, and their official eBay store, or check out their brand new website, works-uk.com. As we said before in the intros, this lockdown has been hard on people, both financially and mental, and I personally have had to make sure that I am looking after my mental health. One aspect of that has been trying to eliminate and keep a handle on anxiety. And one way I've been doing that is making sure that I stick to a really strict, good quality CBD oil regime. I am no scientist. I'm sure you've seen and heard all the positive research and stories about CBD products, but you have to be careful where you get it from. Do not trust the guy who's washing your car who wants to give you an air freshener and try and sell you some CBD. Don't trust the guy who works in a petrol station who wants to tell you the benefits of CBD. You gotta trust legit companies. Our next sponsor, Natural Leaf CBD, is a family-run business based in Cheshire in the UK that are in the market for the right reasons, unlike petrol stations and car washers, vape shops and animal sanctuaries. They know what they are talking about CBD. All Natural Leaf products are full spectrum, which means you get the full cannabinoids and not just the CBD pulled out of the crops. They are organic and vegan friendly, so you aren't going to be ingesting any pesticides or fertilizers. They use a CO2 extraction system to ensure you get a clean product with a guaranteed strength. So what it says on the bottle is exactly what you're going to be putting into your body. Sustainability is also a big part of this business. So all the bottles, tins and packaging is 100% recyclable. If you want to help support the podcast and help support a legit company, then give Natural Leaf CBD a try. Just head to all the W's, naturalleafcbd.co.uk, and if you enter the promo code HKT Pod 10, you can get 10% off everything on the store. All the links for the website and the social media are all in the show description below. And last but not least, plain and simple, there would be no podcast if it wasn't for hookitproducts.co.uk. We are a UK-based distribution company that specialises in making all of our products right here in Sheffield in the UK. Plain and simple, guys. If you head to hookitproducts.co.uk, enter the promo code podcast, you'll get 10% off anything and everything on the store. It's as easy and simple as that. Okay, on today's episode, I am joined by Joe Barnes. Joe is probably one of the most sort of requested guests on the podcast, but finally we got a chance to connect. I wanted to get lockdown out of the way. Believe it or not, these episodes that we've been doing with Ollie Wilkins take up quite a lot of time, and I wanted to make sure that I wasn't just rushing podcasts out. So we focused on the Lockdown Companion. That's now done. As you might know, Ollie and I have got a new series coming out soon, which we're just sort of putting the finishing touches to the ideas. But yeah, I wanted to make sure that, especially for episode 100, I gave this thing my full attention, and it wasn't just thrown in there just to sort of keep the ball rolling, so to speak. So I'm stoked to sit down with Joe. I mean, arguably one of the most unique characters in mountain biking. His videos are incredible. If you've never seen some of his edits before, I urge you to check out his YouTube channel. There's links in the show description, and also links if you're listening to YouTube as you go through the episode. And yeah, massive thank you to Joe for being so open and honest. Super fun guy, just hanging out and chatting like it should be, and making a podcast. So folks, enjoy, and we'll hand over to Joe. Let's do this. Peace. Whatever you want to do. Dude, but yeah, all right, official introduction. Thank you for doing this. I think, like we were just saying, you're probably one of the most requested guests ever, which is rad. So you must be doing something right out there, man.
Waited long enough that maybe more people request you.
Yeah, man, we left them hanging for a little bit. But
yeah, exactly.
It's cool. Like, yeah, stoked. I mean, I was going to give a shout out actually to the guy who linked us up. It was a dude on Instagram who randomly commented. So you must have done another podcast. You did the...
I did, yeah. That was a Schwalbe
one.
podcast. Yeah, that was the first one I'd ever done. That was about a month ago now.
Right, okay.
Chatted to Tobias Wogan. And then, yeah, a guy commented and said we should do one together.
Yeah. So George from the Gorge. Shout out, George.
Oh, yeah.
So George...
from Queenstown, because I was ripping into Queenstown a bit in one of the latest videos. Now he started getting back at me. I think it's him.
Yeah, mate. I don't know, man. Maybe.
Yeah.
But,
anyway.
George from the Gorge, thank you for commenting. It goes a long way, actually. I think when people comment and say, "Oh, you should do this," it sort of does sometimes give you that introduction to people. I know we spoke actually years ago about doing a podcast. Believe it or not, a long, long time ago. But it never happened, and it is what it is. But here we are, ready to riff it out. And I was thinking back actually, because I had your sister on here. She was one of the first. I'd say that top first 20 episodes ever. Yeah. So yeah, it's cool. But we did that, and now here we are at episode 100.
Yeah.
Double digits looks good too on the artwork. I think it looks a bit neater, a little bit better, right?
Motocross to go triple digits.
Yeah, dude.
Like,
it's a bit more established, isn't it? It's like 100 episodes. It must be quite good.
Yeah.
So lockdown, dude. Let's talk. We've got, you have to cover the coronavirus, don't you? I think when you talk to anybody, even whether you spoke to them before or not. So what's the status where you are?
Scottish Highlands. So we were obviously quite far behind in everything generally that happens in Britain. So the virus came to South England first, I think, didn't it? And then spread from there. So. We had lockdown before the virus came here. So we've had a sort of virus-free lockdown, which has been kind of strange, but it's been good. So, I mean, living by the laws and all that, and just going for bike rides. But generally, it has been pretty relaxed up here, I'd say. Obviously, hopefully the government cover everyone's wages. There's not too many people left out of pocket, but apart from that, probably waiting for the first wave now.
Yeah,
that would be the easiest way to look at it. Yeah,
it's definitely a strange time, mate, for anyone. I think no matter what you do, like we were saying before we hit record, dude, I think, you know, a lot of people are lucky, especially if you listen to this and you work in the bike industry.
Yeah.
You know, the bike industry's had it better than most, I think, but there is going to be some knock-ons to that. But yeah, I think we have had it pretty lucky, and I think also just being involved in mountain biking is a good thing. If you went into lockdown and you're like, I can ride my bike every day, sort of guilt-free if I'm furloughed and stuff. And there's definitely been some advantages to it. For a lot of people.
The small print, wasn't it, in like the government's guideline, and luckily Britain sort of left out all the good parts of riding your bike.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah,
that was close, because I know in like France and other countries they added like cycling into it, and that would have been a tough lockdown if you had to take up jogging. So.
Yeah, it's sucked, eh?
Yeah.
When you think back, it's so crazy. It feels like such a long time ago, but I remember a lot of the bike shops started to shut, and then when the government guidelines came out, they were like, "Oh, what? We can stay open? Like, boom, doors back open. Let's get selling some stuff."
Even like the uncertainty of it all got a lot of people. It's like, I know Orange furloughed a load of staff, thinking, like, what's going to happen here? We need to start panicking. And then everyone was buying the bikes, and then had to ask a few boys to go back to work.
Yeah, definitely.
The start of lockdown was total guesswork, wasn't it?
Yeah, definitely. Again, it's weird, isn't it, though, just thinking back to those times. I don't know. I mean, it feels like we're sort of coming out of it a little bit. Yeah. I'd like to think we are, definitely.
Yeah, at least we've got more knowledge now, so more a little bit more prepared, even if it's still blowing about.
Yeah, but it is still relatively scary out there for a lot of people. So, hope everyone out there listening is keeping safe and healthy, and wash your hands and ride your bike. That's pretty much the best advice, isn't it?
Yeah.
So,
luckily it's not too crowded in the woods. Right in the bike parks.
Mate, I know you're pretty isolated, like where you are, but I live. I'm like just on the outskirts of the Peak District, and it looks like things are on fire here. I'm so sorry if you're watching on YouTube. It looks like lit an incense stick, and it's pretty big. Yeah. It's like a flare.
District. Have I whereabouts? I might have been.
Yeah, so I know you've probably ridden Warncliffe and stuff like that.
Yeah,
I'm like the opposite side of Sheffield.
Okay.
So you've got like Bakewell pretty close to here, and Hope Valley, Win Hill. Don't know if you ever heard of that.
I've heard of them all. Yeah. Not been only into one.
Well, I'm like from there probably 15-20 minutes drive. But,
wow.
You know,
really
when they started opening all that sort of stuff up, though, it was snided everywhere, dude. Like you know, everybody just headed for the Peak District. It felt like locally, it was like, we can go outside. Let's just go for a walk. And all of the hot spots, you know, all the really nice locations and like swimming holes and stuff like that were just rammed.
Yeah.
It was crazy, but I guess you're a little bit more isolated where you are.
Well, it just takes maybe camper vans and stuff coming up, but we'll wait and see. I mean, it's like I've never been in Fort William in the summer and it not being busy until a couple of weeks ago, so that's been really quite a nice experience. But I'm sure it'll get busier, but then the tourism needs it, so
exactly,
got to support it as well where you can.
Yeah, definitely. It must be kind of weird for you then. Are you not normally home around this sort of time? You're usually travelling?
No, I'm normally home in sort of 2-week blocks or like little bits here and there. So I've not left town really the whole time. So it's been totally different.
Yeah. It looks like it's been pretty kind to you.
You gotta embrace it though, don't you?
Mate, 100%. I agree, and on a personal level, it's been really nice. If I'm honest, you know, I know. From the point of view of doing the series that me and Ollie did was just an absolute blast, and I think it kept me sane as well, of having a weekly thing that we did and whatever. But also, I've been running my own business for 5 or 6 years now, and it was a chance just to like lift your head above water for a moment and just be like, right, what's going on? Just sort of take stock of things, both personal life and business life as well. So it has been. On a very much a personal point of view, it has been a bit of a blessing, to be honest. I think I needed this little break just to spend some time at home as well, because usually I'm out on the road traveling and doing whatever. So like you said, I've been embracing it. I definitely though, one thing that I did straight away was just put like loads of structure into my life, because I knew that I'd just fall into this weird trap of Netflix or, you know, just not really having any structure. So I sort of broke all my days up into like 2 hour structure, 2 hour blocks, and it was a little bit creepy, but
that's very,
it sort of kept me on
impressive.
the straight and narrow, and like, you know, doing the bits of work that I had to do, and then, you know, making sure you spend enough time to ride bikes and go walking and the odd jog and stuff like that. So it's like I say, it's been kind to me personally, and I think that a lot of people have hopefully had that same experience. You know, no doubt it's been hard for some people, but you know.
Total mixture.
Dude, some of the stuff you've been doing through lockdown has been insane. It's been so good.
Oh, jeez.
That video series, dude.
I had that 2 weeks at the start of lockdown where I was about to get on a flight to South America.
Yeah.
And then, like, the day before, they'd shut it all down, and we were like, okay, what should I do? 2 weeks are like, oh my God, what is going on here? And then just thinking, well, I love making videos. Let's just get on it.
Yeah.
And if you get sort of like a parameter or like like restrictions put on you, like you can't leave your garden, then you can actually be way more creative because you've not got infinite choice, and you just do what you can with what you've got. So that was quite nice, I thought.
Dude, you banged some
as long as
stuff
people,
out.
as long as people are there with you at the time, so they know like the restrictions, and then you're like, oh cool, he's done this because of that, or like started virtual reality because I couldn't ride my bike like properly.
Yeah.
Of the danger factor, so it's a bit of a laugh.
So good, man, honestly, and I mean this in the nicest way possible, but I still think it's one of the most underrated lockdown, like I'd say, series. You know, some of the videos have got a lot of views, right? But I feel like they need an extra zero at the end because they're so good. Yeah. So if anyone hasn't seen your what you call it, Lockdown Bites, wasn't it? Lockdown Bites. Go check your YouTube channel out. There'll be a link in the show description, and give them all a watch because they're so good, man. So good. I think we need more of that, if I'm honest. You know, that aspect of creativity and just randomness is, for me, again, like personally,
always been a fan of randomness, or just pretend, sort of putting a slight twist on things, so it's like you're in a parallel universe, but you're something's not quite right, but you can't quite tell what it is.
No, it's so good. I want to get into that a little bit further in a bit, if that's okay. But just wanted to do, like, again, I was thinking back before about when Hannah came on here and talking about like where you grew up and stuff like that, and a sort of slightly, I'd say, unorthodox childhood in a way.
Yeah.
You know, with taking a lot of time out to go travel and stuff. So if it's cool, like, it's always nice to hear a little bit of the backstory and whatnot about you as a person and the family. So tell me a little bit about like your childhood and that break that you took as well. Like, it was to go sailing, is that right?
Yeah, did loads of sailing. My dad loves sailing, well, more than anyone in the family, but everyone likes adventure, so that was our like way of doing it. It was pretty cool childhood. Definitely, my parents were really, I suppose you could say, frugal. So it was always like adventures, but done with like as frugal as possible. So like they moved to the Scottish Highlands when I was 5, just turning 6. So don't really remember England too much. But then, just like, my dad worked weekends in a campsite, so me, my sister, and my mum just used to go out to Bothies every weekend.
Okay.
You know Bothies? It's like the old rundown houses been slightly done up, so you can go and camp in them for free. So we'd go out hiking to them or bike to them, and just going out camping and stuff like that, and then got into sailing loads.
Right. Can you just take your microphone off your thing? Sorry.
Oh, sorry.
It's like
off my. Oh yeah, I might be waiting that back.
Yeah.
Is that better?
I thought it was rubbing on your shirt. Sorry. It was like I could hear it, so I know people listening would be like, "Oh my god, what's going on?" Yeah. Nice, perfect.
Yeah, so just like bits of adventure, really.
Yeah.
And having a bit of fun. So.
Okay.
I'm not sure where to start.
I know, it's kind of hard, isn't it, when you start reflecting back on all that sort of stuff. But exactly. What was like the best memory you've got of that, like, sailing trip, for example? And were you already into riding when you went on that, or anything like that?
Yeah. So when I was 12, parents wanted to take a year away from their work, so I took me and my sister out of school for a year and lived on the boat and sailed around the Atlantic, just island hopping the whole way.
Yeah.
And I mean, I love my bike from like a really young age, and that's all I did generally as growing up, just on like old rigids and things out the dump, really, just all hackers I'd done up. So I'd not been like into a scene of mountain biking. I just loved riding a bike.
Yeah.
So we went away, and I was missing it pretty bad. So like I hired bikes 2 days in a whole year, and they were my highlight days.
Right.
There was one in, I can't remember the name of the island, one of the Caribbean islands. Me and my dad hired a bike, and it was just like, I basically just rode for 9 hours solid. Constantly doing a wheelie the whole time.
Really, yeah.
Yeah, and so like they were probably my 2 highlight days. And then just the whole experience was pretty cool.
What's
sailing,
the family
you
history
sail across
with bikes and stuff like that? Is there one?
Yeah, well, I didn't know of one particularly growing up, but I'm quite proud now because my great granddad has loads of medals in cycling, and was in his club down, I think sort of Manchester way.
Okay.
And then my granddad, he's got cycling medals, and my mum's now cross country world champion.
Is she?
She got into cross country like maybe 5 or 6 years ago.
I didn't know that. Wow.
And then I've been biking, so it's like 4 generations now.
Yeah.
Of cyclists. So, but growing up, actually, my parents were really into running, fell running or hill running.
Okay.
So, really sporty. But my dad always thought, like, a set of trainers is all you need. You don't need a bike. That's excessive. And I obviously just didn't want to do that. Just did bike. So yeah, there's a little bit of history there. But
yeah. I guess you only just sort of discovered that as you got a little older then as well, which is kind of cool.
Yeah. Because I've got the actual medals. My mum's got them from my great granddad and granddad.
Wow.
So she's got like this, and she's got her world champs medal. So it's like
amazing. It's kind of unique, isn't it?
Well.
That like, I guess coming out of one family, you've got 2 athletes that are very professional riders.
No, it's
super.
Yeah,
unique.
it's really cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, and we kind of do slightly different things as well, me and my sister. So it's like we're not really like on the same team or on the same bike or anything. We're just doing our own things, but like.
Yeah, I mean, if you didn't know you guys were brother and sister, you would have no idea that. Do you know what I mean? Exactly. That you're related, would you? Yeah, I know what you mean. It's not like there's a connection there, like you say, with a team or brand. Or exactly.
Growing up together, doing it.
Interesting. That's so cool though, man, about going sailing for a year. I think that's I remember talking to your sister about it to some length, because I just found it fascinating. I think that different way of raising a child is really interesting. Is it giving you that, like, I guess, outlook on things now that you've got a son of your own? Congratulations, by the way.
Thank you. Yeah. I think so. It'd be nice. Yeah, it's nice to, like, I got loads of time put into my childhood, if that makes sense. Like, they really made us get out there and do stuff. So
like you say, a lot of time put into it. That's a good way of looking at it, eh? Like a lot of families, it's just off to school 9 to 5, 9 to 3 or whatever it is, and then put them in front of an iPad or a TV at night. And
exactly.
Yeah, you're out
and
doing stuff.
So I'm so passionate about getting out myself and doing, like, working towards my goals. And he's young enough now that it's not like I don't have to do stuff with him all the time. But definitely at some point, we'll start getting more done together.
That's cool. It's so cool.
Yeah.
So when did the bike stuff start to be, I guess, get a bit more serious?
When I was 14, that's when I got a downhill bike.
Right. Yeah.
So quite young, really.
Yeah.
I mean, before I was my own person, so still obviously at home, and parents helped me out and got a second-hand bike from the bike shop, and I mean, that's all I wanted to do for so long before I was 14, but that was like, I actually got a bike then, and then just got straight in the car, went to the Winter Wet and Wild series in Innerleithen. That's what it was called back then, from Pro Bike Sport.
Okay.
And just started racing, and then just basically that was it. Just raced ever since.
Right. Do you remember? I mean, God. So how old are you now?
32.
30, same as me. So you were 14. So you were what? Who are you looking up to at that time? I guess Petey was already killing it on the scene, which is crazy when you think you were 14 and Petey was killing it.
Yeah, that's it. And he was my total idol. So obviously got an orange first bike.
Right. Okay.
And he was on them then. He had like a dark green one with a black swing arm, and it was the best thing I'd ever seen.
Yeah.
And then obviously grew up with Earth videos.
Yeah.
Sprung 5 was the first time I watched like a proper mountain bike video. I got that for Christmas. So it was like Sprung 5, which was one before Earth, and then Earth series. And I probably got my own downhill bike about Earth 1. So I'd had a bit of time dreaming about it.
Yeah.
Watching Sprung on repeat, and then got my bike, and it was like, just everyone in the scene. I just thought it was amazing. But yeah, obviously from the British perspective, it was Steve Pete and G Atherton. Like the Athertons in the Earth earlier videos, their segments were always incredible.
Definitely, dude. How interested it would be to find out how many people those two series, you know, how many people can literally say I'm a mountain biker because I found Sprung and then Earth. I know. I mean,
well, that's it. I watched each one. I got because they're yearly, and I think it's such a good way of doing it. And then I watched each one probably like 200 times.
Mate, on the VCR as well.
VCR, and then it was so good. Yeah, Sprung was VCR. I don't know.
I think
what point
Earth
DVD
might have been like one of my first. Yeah, might have been one of my first DVDs. I think Earth definitely was. Yeah, I remember you had to go to Halfords and keep going back every week until you found it, until it was there.
Oh yeah.
on the DVD stand. Yeah. You'd be like, tricks and stunts, no. Looking for Earth.
So it was like a mixture of Earth, Sprungs, the World Cup in Fort William, which was amazing for me to see.
Okay. Do you remember when you first went to that then?
Yeah, I would have gone to that before having a bike as well. So I don't know when it started. 2002 it started, so I probably just went to the first one. And was like, it used to being up the hill because I went skiing and things, but never took my bike on the conference.
Right. You think your family were into it straight away, like your mum and dad, with them being adventurers?
No, my dad's like real cautious.
Is he?
He's never been stung by a bee, never broke a bone.
Really? Yeah.
That's me. I make folks joke, but so he was always there. Like, are you sure you want to do that?
Could just have a pair of trainers, you know.
Yeah, I know. Better jogging. Really supportive.
Cool.
Really, I think that's what I wanted, so there was no stopping me.
Okay.
And then went to the races with them, so it was good.
Yeah, so you did loads of travelling with your dad, right?
Yeah, mostly my dad, mum as well a bit, but like the sort of Scottish ones. We just had like the car bike rack on, me, my mate Richard, and just go to them.
Good times, those ones, man.
They're so good. You look back and you're like, how did we get like 3 of us into the Astros? It's like, what did I?
We used to do a few of the MPS rounds, and a friend of mine had like a Corsa, and I had a Punto. It's like no space at all, just a little bit of boot space. You get everything in there, tent, everything, sleep in the van or car or whatever it is. Yeah, it's good times, dude, for sure. Looking back, I think so many people have got those fond memories of those sort of race series, haven't they? And you know, I don't know if it's changed now for kids, but I think, you know, with there not being any social media, and it was just like full escapism from everything, just in a field somewhere, like it's just so cool.
Oh, the ghetto setups were real. Get yourself the cheapest caravan you can, and then you like turn the caravan, clutches slipping in the car, just like all sorts.
Great times, and then the Athertons turn up in a big wagon, and you're like, we're having more fun.
So good.
Definitely. So, like, you know, I guess that's sort of how you got into it and stuff, which is super interesting. But when did it become that bit more like serious with going to World Cups and?
So I did 2 years Scottish races in youth. Didn't do juvenile.
Who did you come up with as well then? Sorry, so you must have like Cathro.
Cathro. There was like the Benderloch boys. Benderloch's like a tiny little town near Oban,
Right.
And there was a really strong downhill scene from there. So it was Cathro, Chris Hutchins, like Andy Phillips. In my year as well was Rory Cunningham. Well, he's 1 year below, but did quite a bit together. Yeah. Thomas Pollock. There's like other guys who aren't racing as much now, but yeah. So then first year junior, so I was 16, and you needed one UCI point to race a World Cup then. And SDAs, Scotch Downhills, had 2 rounds a year. They had points at them, and I got 9th place at one, which got me 2 points. And then I was like, sweet, we're off.
We're in.
So I raced Willingen World Cup when I was 16.
Did you? Yeah.
Germany. Really? Yeah. Drove out to that. So that was pretty good. So I think it was the youngest person racing. Yeah. Real ghetto. Just went out. Both parents and sister came as well. Trucked out. And it was a horrible weekend. They'd just built the track really recently before, and it was all spongy.
Okay.
And I think the sort of people who do World Cups all the time thought this is terrible, loads of complaining going on, and me and Cathro were there just so buzzing.
Yeah, this is literally home soil.
Well, not even that, just because we were at a World Cup.
Right, okay.
It's like, who cares? So I think Cathro was like 40th and I was 66th or something. Okay. Just like didn't stop pedalling the whole way down.
So, what do you call it, lawnmower?
Yeah, exactly, lawnmower. Just buzzing, just going for it. And then just, race. Added World Cups to the calendar as well. Got a little bit busier.
Okay.
And
how are you doing it in regards to like funding and stuff like that? Do you remember?
I just my parents were really kind to me. They when I was like at school still, they when I worked, they said they'd like match it, which is a kind of really weird way of supporting your kids. So they didn't buy me a bike. They said like if I worked, they'd help me do half of it until I left school. So that's basically how I funded it. So I was a gardener, grass cutter.
Nice.
So that was my profession.
Okay.
So I did that whenever I could, just did gardening. And then my parents helped me. It would be so difficult without some support.
Yeah. I mean, even back then, downhill bikes were expensive, and then,
exactly,
everything else you need on top of it to get racing.
Yeah. So that was great. And then, I never really chased support. I actually didn't really speak to people when I was younger that much. I was really shy and had my friends, and then just never really got into like communicating too much. So it just didn't even really cross my mind to become sponsored. I was just there for the racing. And that was fine. That's all I wanted, really.
That's a pretty cool attitude, though, isn't it? Like, even when you're that young to have that. I think now there's definitely a thing where kids are chasing that sponsorship deal, and they probably don't have any idea why they need it. They just want to have it to put it in their Instagram bio or something.
Oh, definitely. Yeah, well, that's it. You can just... I mean, there is a point where obviously you get sponsored to a lower degree, and that's maybe great. I don't know if that's good for your own profile, but it's more for feeling good than the support actually gives you, I think. So I kind of bypassed that part and just rode for my local club, West Highland Wheelers, and they just had my bright yellow race jersey. But then like for sponsorship, Stu Thompson, who was one of the Scottish downhill elites, excellent rider, he started his video company, Cut Media, which was Mountain Bike Cut then.
Yeah.
And between this I did ride for Morwood, but the first proper thing which I felt like this is incredible was when Stu phoned me up. And he just phoned me up and said, "Oh, I'm starting this team, Joe, do you want to be on it?" I just remember it so vividly.
Just like that.
I was like out digging a rut track, and then I was like, just remember it so perfectly, and then that was it. So it's really cool.
Really? Do you remember what was that included? Like a bike, or how did that?
That was a bike. Yeah, no, it's just a free bike.
Right.
And then I rode for Stu, I'm not sure, 4 or 5 years.
So is that the same team that Catherine was on then? Was that the same?
Yeah.
thing?
Catherine wasn't on it from the start.
Okay.
I think it was me and Lou Buchanan on the first year.
Oh, right. Yeah.
And then Lou wasn't on and Craig Williamson was on. And then after that year, it was me, Cathro, Hutch, and my sister, I think. So it kind of changed and evolved. Madlone was on it. And I did start getting money off Stu as times progressed. But just each year he upped it a bit, and my profile was a bit higher, and it just worked really well.
Yeah, cool.
So yeah, really chuffed with that.
Yeah, and that was all like a full. Did you do a full World Cup season on?
I actually never did a full World Cup season. Yeah, I don't know, just my mindset. I just decided that I wanted to do, like, the price of flying to Canada or South Africa wasn't worth it for the loss of like training time I could have working for it.
Yeah.
So obviously getting on a factory team would have helped that, but I was just like, right, I'd need to work in the bike shop for 2 more months that winter. So I'll just do the European ones, like, the best of my ability. And so I never actually did full World Cup season, but I did mostly all the European ones, and then I went to Canada once.
So expensive to go do a full season, man, isn't it? Especially if you're doing it out of your own pocket. I mean, holy shit. No. It's a huge eye opener. I remember like doing the series that I did with Rich about the EWS series. Some of the numbers about, spending 10,000-15,000 quid a year on travel.
I know.
And it's like,
exactly.
You got to be pretty damn passionate, or there's got to be a serious end goal.
Yeah.
Something that
and
you're
if you
trying
can
to
do
get.
like 90% of the season for $5,000, or all the season
they're
for
all
10,
in Europe,
I'll just do 90% of it. And I mean, I really don't know, looking back, if like psychologically that's good, whether focusing on one race or being part of a series is good, because once I started doing full World Enduro series, it does change your mindset. But at the time it was good.
Yeah. Were you working then at the same time? So you say you worked
at
a bike
I was
shop?
just bike shop,
Okay.
The bike shop sorted me out, so I worked there for loads of years, and then they just they were so good to me, because they just
They're still around? What shop is it?
Never Cycles.
Oh right, yeah.
The son runs it now, so it was the parents at the time. Okay. And they basically just let me work the hours I wanted to, and I just fixed bikes and never spoke to any customers. And it was like, that's my dream. So it went from like 5 days a week to 4 to 2-hour lunches to finishing early to like, oh sorry, I forgot to tell you I'm in France.
Proper flexi time.
They were really good, and I could work in less summers, which, I mean, it's obviously not the best for a bike shop, but it was all good.
Okay.
So.
You might have to help me out a little bit here then. So what sort of stage did you finish racing downhill? Were you still on the MTB Cut team? Or?
That was I did. Well, no, I did the MTB Cup media team. That spanned both for me, because Stu, after a few years, was the one sort of saying to me, like, you've got to do these enduros.
Right.
They're just designed for you.
Yeah.
Like you just need to get on with that. And obviously you just focused on what you're doing. So I was like, nah, Stu, I'll just do downhill a bit longer.
You were riding trail bikes at that time then, or not?
Yeah, well, that was it. I was riding trail bikes all the time. And Stu was filming me on trail bikes. I was doing like dudes at Hazzard videos on trail bikes, and I was basically a trail bike rider, but racing downhill. And I love cross country racing, so I had like the fitness as well. But Stu was saying do enduros, and I wasn't really sure. And then actually I did a few and did love them. So I did a full Irish Enduro season on Cup Media, which was the year before EWS. That was the only good series basically the only good series about, because they got on the case, Niall Davis, before British Enduros really took off, and there was no Scottish Enduros. So I did the full Irish Enduro series, excellent prize money as well.
Really, yeah.
Good in now. Really. €50 per stage win, so hopefully he puts as many stages in as he can. I could get some loot to get me on the ferry. And we organised our own race in Scotland just because there was not much going on.
Okay, what that was like Enduro?
Yeah.
All right,
did Spirit of Enduro World Champs, which is just like cannot leave in November, horrible weather. But that bumped up. That was like, we did that 3 years, and that went up to 450 riders in November, and turning people away like 3 weeks before. So it went really big, but then that was before there was any other real decent races coming about. So.
Yeah.
So yeah, but basically I did downhill and then did like sort of transitioning year or two and then full World Series.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Well, one of the things I wanted to ask you were like, what was the sort of like main decision to move away from downhill? But I think you've pretty much just summed it
it's
up.
pretty much just like if you just drew down the sport of downhill, the sport of enduro, and put like what I enjoy about riding a bike and what I'm good at or better at, then and it just all falls in enduro.
Right, fair enough. Yeah. What was the downhill career going like at that point?
It was okay.
Yeah.
I was just ups and downs. Like I was really good in Scotland, and then threw it all the way at World Cups, kind of like style. So I was Scottish champion a few times. I got like I think 26th, 29th, 30th was like my World Cup bests, and then basically 50th or crash was my other standards. So it was kind of there or thereabouts, and then load of FTDs and Scottish. Won a national. I was quite happy with that.
Sick. Nice.
But it wasn't probably. It was like on the edge of. If I'd been at that speed and pushed myself, 2 people, I could have maybe gotten a team. But or like a factory team. But certainly as soon as I started doing enduros, I felt way more comfortable.
Really? Yeah. Okay. All right. What do you miss anything about racing downhill?
No, I did one last year. No, not really. I think it's all depends who's at the race, and I don't really mind what race I do, as long as it's fun.
It's in a strange place at the moment, isn't it? Really, with no races happening, it's
And what's going to come back? I mean, I've been trying to predict the future because, as everyone has, with Corona, but then also global Corona and global warming combined, you got to look at what's going to happen. So whether it'll become more localized, like it would make more sense if that was the case. Or World Series.
It's a very strange thing at the moment, man. With no racing happening, everything just seems to be getting cancelled. I guess we've still got world champs. That's not been cancelled yet, but
I'm not sure about that one. Yeah, that's the one I think's the most likely to go ahead. And where's that Leogang?
Leogang, yeah.
Yeah, because that's a private investor or private run thing. So it's not a resort, so they kind of need to do it, I think.
But it still matters, if there's still travel restrictions and stuff like that. It's going to be a weird world champs if most people can't get there.
Oh no!
Definitely.
Well, that's it. Because Enduro, did you see Enduro World Series said, well, if everyone can't, like, it's not a world champs anymore. It's just whoever can get there does the race, and we'll see how it goes.
Right.
Which is like that's fine if, but I don't think the downhill could really say that.
Yeah.
I feel like it's a little bit too big time maybe to say. Like, if only French people can come because it's in France, that's fine, we'll still do it. They couldn't really.
No, it's not the same event, is it?
No.
It's not a World Cup at all.
Yeah,
it's
exactly.
a French national then, isn't it?
Yeah. So I think the Enduro World Series said, we're doing it regardless.
Right.
Well, hopefully. But I can't see downhill saying that, so they're probably more likely to get cancelled.
Where was the first EWS meant? Is it
Zermatt?
Zermatt.
Yeah.
So is that still on the calendar then?
Yeah, they've gone daft. I think it's 6 or 7 now.
Is it really? Right. Honestly, man, there's so much stuff
it's
to
almost
keep a track on.
Not worth keeping track.
Yeah, you just wait until something happens and it's like, oh, I didn't know that was on. It's like the Formula 1. I had no idea it was running. And then turn the TV on and you're like,
Time TV.
What are you doing there?
Yeah.
Like you say, it's easier just not to keep a track of it, and then
That's what I thought. So I've got a camper van. If they say the race is on, I'll just drive out.
Right, fair. That's a good way.
That's
a good way.
What else can you do? You're not going to book anything now, are you?
Nah, it's true.
Maybe you could book something. So
just load up and get out of here. Yeah, it's a good way. Good way of doing it. Definitely. Yeah. Interesting times, mate, for sure. When it comes to the races.
Yeah, that's it. A lot of from all levels, a lot of like motivation dips and peaks and
I bet
going on.
You must have been pretty fired up though coming into this year. Like,
Yeah, it was.
Team sorted and all that sort of stuff.
Yeah, that's it. Took a year to sort of get the team real settled. Just a bit more work than you think, as you would predict, really. But and then good winter training, ready to go. But yeah, it is what it is.
Computer says no. Unfortunately.
Also race.
Yeah.
Sorry, what's that?
Computer says no to going racing. Unfortunately.
Computer says no.
Computer says no. It's not happening. Not happening. Yeah. Strange. Let's go back a little bit to Enduro World Series, and obviously starting that. You were with Canyon for a long time, so like 6 years on Canyon.
Yeah, 6 years. Yeah, that was it. Before the World Series was starting, and all the big companies were like, "Oh, we need a team." Yeah. And I'd done a year before. I'd raced Enduro for a year before already, so luckily I was one of the people who people were keen on.
Yeah.
So that was quite good. And then I again didn't actually ask any companies on really know any people in the industry, but I was mates with Jerome Clements, so I asked him if I could be on his team.
Right, really? Is that how it came around?
And he was figuring out what to do. He's obviously ridden Cannondale for forever, since I've known him.
Yeah.
But he was at that time. He was also like asking about basically, and he was asking about and sort of pitching me in as well.
Okay.
So one of the people he spoke to was Canyon, and then obviously Canyon didn't sign him. He continued on with Cannondale, but then they were like, Jerome told us we're the boy. So then that was. So I just You know,
it's really like unique when you think back too of, you know, a sport like starting to emerge. You were like there at the start of it. Like it's pretty rare that happens, isn't it? That you can be no, at the start of the, you know, like you said, the first EWS series, you like raced it. Mm-hmm. There's not many people that can probably say that.
Yeah, there was certainly a few people like dabbling in it, but there weren't many people who came in with a game plan who were sort of a wee bit they knew what they were after, and so it was really good. Oh, it was so good, such good timing. Yeah. Even though I was a couple of years later than Stu wanted, I was still ahead of the game.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah. And so, you reckon you knew that at the time? You're like this is gonna blow up, because I think
not really.
It blew up in a way of making mountain biking more accessible too, right? Like it literally. I mean, it's weird to think back, 5 or 6 years or whatever it is, but. I feel like that really changed mountain biking for a lot of people, because you didn't need 3 bikes anymore. You needed one bike if you really want, just a trail bike.
Yeah. Oh, well, it's huge, isn't it? I mean, that's like the first trail bike I got. Then I just knew that was the future.
Yeah.
Went from a Cove Stiffy and got an Orange 5 and was like, Orange 5, yep.
Okay.
This is it. I can ride 90% what I can do on a downhill bike, and I can just ride about all day.
Yeah.
So. It was brilliant. So and then obviously turning it into a discipline, I think they got it pretty good. I think the progression of the sport's been really good. Can't see many faulters to it.
No, not at all. I think a lot of the bike brands have obviously had a great time with it.
They've sort of. I'm more of a trail bike rider myself, and it was more trail bikes at the start. If you want to there wasn't downhill enduro trail. It was just like downhill and trail, and the courses were a bit tighter and a bit more techy. So now we're riding monster trucks again, but that's fine. Yeah. It's still trail, still getting about on a bike. But,
yeah, definitely. Oh, actually, it's just I'm interested. Where are you at with e-bikes? Because I don't think I've ever seen you ride one. I might be mistaken.
I've not been on them much. No. Yeah, very rarely. I've got one. They're good. You can actually learn a lot about your other bike from one, because they're so incredibly stable and good at riding the downhills just because of the weight. It's like Chris Porter's had some wise chat all these years about putting lead on your bike, but I'm not sure. I'm sort of. I think they're really good bikes, but I'm a little bit. Do we really need millions of batteries in the world? And if I was 15, I'd be like, come on, just let me have a normal bike. It's cheaper. Yeah. So that's like my two, or like my mates I've got now who don't have an e-bike. And you're just sort of making 2 rides. Like you've got the e-bike ride and the normal ride.
Yeah.
So I can see why people are against them, just for just something else to think about in the world. But at the same time, they're really good. So
I just see you as like a fully traditionalist sort of mountain biker, right?
Yeah.
That's how I'd like. Yeah. I mean, I don't know you that well, but that's just what I see. But I don't know. Some people have surprised
I love
me.
pedaling about.
Yeah.
So
some people have surprised me though by being like massive converts to an e-bike, and you're like, I didn't really see that guy as an e-bike kind of guy. I don't know. I just think some people like lend themselves to it a little bit better than others. But
I'd say I don't really. I definitely, if I could choose a bike, it'd clearly just be a normal mountain bike. But see where it goes.
Definitely, I think people like Danny Mac seem to be doing amazing things for e-bikes though. Look at what Danny's out there doing. When he came on the podcast again with me and Ollie, and he's talking about multi-battery rides, and it's something that I've never even thought about. That I was like, "Fuck yeah, you can do that, can't you?"
I know. I've only got one battery, and I'm being a bit sad. I might nick Ferg's battery and see what the two. Because I mean, at the moment, one battery will it'll get you up a big hill, but it's probably not quite enough for a day out.
Right. Yeah.
I don't think.
I think Danny was saying he took 3 out.
I know, which is about 1,000 meters of battery for me, so he'd be on. It's a big old day.
Yeah, it's a massive day. But it's something that I remember him saying it. I was like, well, I'd not even thought of that. Like, of course you can take 3 batteries with you if you want to carry them.
I suppose my second sport, which e-bike's not taken over, is just riding trials motorbikes. But we always take a bottle of fuel in the backpack, and that's like the same, isn't it?
Fair, yeah.
Keeps you going.
Have you ever done the 6-day?
Nah, I'm not quite good enough, but I will do it one day.
Yeah.
Once I got my entry in, and then I know I've got to step on it. But,
yeah, for sure.
It would be really good.
Okay. Yeah, definitely. A few of my friends do that. I've got a few friends that are really good trials riders. Yeah, Chris goes up. Chris Pearson is a pretty, I'd say, well-known trials rider. He's always top 10s and stuff like that up there. Right. And I've always thought I'd like to go and give that a go, at least go and watch. It just looks cool.
Definitely. Well, I definitely enjoy the whole experience. I don't know, like 80 mile through the hills days, and then have a few scary moments and get a few fives and
drink some tea and go home. It's I did a trial a few years ago. It probably actually this time last year. I did my first ever trial, and I found it so goddamn hard. I don't know why. I just sort of thought, I got a relatively good sort of competence on a motorbike. I thought, I'll be okay at it. It's literally like I'd never ridden anything two-wheeled in my life before. It was so hard.
Did you do did you ride the trial much, or were you just
literally jumped it, like took it out of the van in the morning, and it was like on section 1 after starting it, and it was like, wow, this is very alien to me. It's
do you clutch it loads on a big bike?
Huh?
Do you ride the clutch loads on a big bike? Or, what would be the difference?
On a trials bike, I rev it like it's a motocross bike,
right? Okay,
rather than just like poodle around.
Yeah.
And I'm always on the clutch. That's what I noticed.
Okay.
I was always sort of like feathering the clutch like some sort of amateur.
A bit too many revs. Yeah.
A bit too revving Rodney for trials. I think I need to slow it down a little bit. But yeah, I'm gonna grab one. I think trials bikes. I did kind of enjoy it. It's sort of like therapeutic. Just
they're really good.
Trying to figure things out, and
good
for balance, dude, for sure. Like amazing really for balance.
Yeah, really good. And just good fun. It's like you say, it's quite a different pace. Quite fun though.
Yeah. You just head out from your house a bit as well and just go.
Yeah, I can go from the door, so that's the best thing about it, really.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's always a bonus, isn't it? I think again from here, you sort of like got to load up in the van and drive somewhere, and it makes it a little bit harder. I think if I was in your situation, I think I'd be more open to doing it, to be honest. But
it's a Fort William thing, trials.
Yeah.
With the 6 days, obviously, no motocross or moto enduro anywhere, but there's anywhere you look, there's a little trials rut. So
really,
it's like my friends at school, they were more motorbike trials. Because that's like if it gets passed down a little bit, doesn't it?
I feel like it's definitely a traditional Scottish vibe. Going on.
But then most of the good riders are from down your way, so who knows?
Well, I think we've definitely got a few, haven't we? We've got like Dabble's pretty local to me.
Yeah.
Dougie Champkin obviously is relatively local. He's like Buxton area over the hill. So yeah, we have got quite a lot, mate. You're right. I think you're right. We have got quite a lot of good trials riders. Anyway, trials rant. So man, so many things I wanted to talk to you about. I'm going to throw in there about like actually your time on Canyon, if that's all right, because I think it's super interesting because you were with Canyon for 6 years, which is a long time to be with a brand. Why do you think you stayed there so long, and what was like the secret? Because I guess a lot of people always want to know like how you maintain that relationship with a sponsor. And you ever thought about it?
I think why I stayed there so long. I suppose I liked it.
Fair, it's fair. You know, United from the outside looking in. I feel like Canyon's a pretty corporate sort of company, and then I'd say for you, you're a bit more. I think how to put this without sounding bad, like you suit more of like an orange sort of vibe. You're a bit more like.
Well, I suppose that's they're sort of really corporate, but they're. I mean, the Germans are also like the most humorous.
Dude, I know a lot of the guys in Europe really well. I'm riding the Strive right now, and honestly, those guys are legit. Like the guys from Canyon are awesome.
They're really good chat, aren't they? So, and they're quite perceptive as well. So they could obviously see that they've got this hugely corporate image, and if they could get me on board and not turn me too corporate, then I could do something good for the company. So that was like kind of their way of seeing it. And I had to remind them a few times not to make me too corporate.
Really,
I was like, come on, guys. Because I was really paranoid about that. Like, there's obviously the pros of being on a factory teams, all the support and all the wild levels of support really you get from that type of thing. It's pretty impressive. But then you also lose a bit of your own identity, which I had never experienced before. So I was kind of found this tough one to swallow, but then I just got into it and like blended both what I was doing and what they wanted me to do, and I think actually as time went on we just had a really good working relationship. Larry, who was managing it, get good friends with him, and like I say, it's just really good. I ended up signing long contracts with them as well, so I did a 2-year contract at the start, and then after the first year just did another 2-year, why not? And before the third year was even up, I'd signed another 3-year contract. So it was like, it was kind of just pretty good.
It was working, so why change it sort of thing.
Yeah, exactly. And then it did change, that was kind of quite mutual as well. It was quite chilled when I stopped riding for them. Like I had this, I just had the vision of starting up this race team. And they sort of really appreciated that, but they already had a factory team, so...
Right. Did you pitch to them first to be like...
Yeah, I pitched to them, and I nearly rode for them as a sort of privateer.
Okay.
So I could just kind of do my own thing a bit more, but not be on the factory team. And that nearly came off, but I don't know, I just sort of wanted to do this. So.
Yeah. Dude, it's cool, man, that you set up your own race team for sure. Super big commitment though, right? To step away from a factory team. And do your own thing. It's a big old commitment, right? Because I guess you could have just ridden out way more years for Canyon. They'd been happy, you'd be happy. Yeah, probably. Yeah, definitely. But then, 6 years is a long time as well. From doing something new. And then Orange is a huge company for me as well. Rode for them for years and years before Canyon. So, kind of only ridden two bikes. But, really,
that kind of Orange fell into place really easily as well.
Yeah. How do you go about starting a race team then? Like, I'm interested. I mean, I have some insights myself from doing certain things, but I'm no doubt people listening to this are going to want to know, like, right, what do you start? How do you start
that? It's a tricky one. I mean, like I was saying, Stu phoned me up on the road for Orange, and then Jerome told Canyon to sponsor me, essentially, in a roundabout way. Yeah. So I'd never actually pitched myself to people properly. Okay. So that was quite strange thing to be doing, because you're like, where do you start? It's almost like if we don't know each other already, then it's going to be brutal. It's like, I'll make these videos. They're a little bit shit, but people kind of like them. So it doesn't really work, does it? So I basically just, if I knew the people already, then they were keen.
Yeah, it's a big invite for sure.
Yeah,
huge
so really hard to introduce yourself to somebody who doesn't know you at all. So
yeah, I think we are lucky as well in that it is a relatively small industry, and that a lot, you'll know a lot of people just from being on the scene.
Yeah.
But to come in and pitch something to someone you don't know is tough.
And it's quite stressful as well. So so putting the sponsors together was the first thing, and creating the vision was the first thing, and deciding if it was marketable, and then if you've got enough support to achieve what you want to achieve, or if you think you can get enough support. So that was the start, and I thought that was all possible. And then the support was just people I already knew, really. Okay. So it's like Orange, Hope, went with Formula, who I didn't actually know, but that was a cool thing.
Right.
Yeah. I've ridden for Rock Shops for years, but was going more of a UK vibe. And then One Up again, like guys in Canada, but they're really into the scene. One of the guys from Aberdeen, one's from England. So so the sponsors all came together pretty well. And then it's just doing branding, really, isn't it? I mean, you'll know that. It's just if you get your branding right, then you've made it.
So how much goes into that side of it for you? Because the brand, the Dudes of Hazzard brand is, and the Hazzard Racing brand is super strong.
Yeah. I don't know. I mean, the Dudes of Hazzard was like, from visually, it was just one logo that just ran the whole time.
Yeah.
And the brand was just through the video content. And I suppose I branded my van and always wore a red check cap, and I suppose it's just tricks, isn't there? I mean, I've not been taught anything, but you use a bit of common sense, and you can.
It's interesting that you've not been taught anything. I'd say, I don't know, you naturally seem quite good at marketing and branding, and I don't know. It's maybe a mixture between sort of creativity and common sense. I don't know. Then starting Hazzard Racing, just wanted to that was one of the things, actually. Enduro came on, and like part of the plan with the team was to have custom jerseys, which I designed. So I do all the design of the jerseys, logos, content, animations, and try and make it like a package that sort of has a common theme. People can get behind. So doing that with Enduro, and Orange can paint a bike any colour they want. So you can just sort of try and, I don't know. How do you map it out? What's your technique? Are you a vision board kind of dude, or? Lots of bits of paper scattered everywhere. Definitely, write everything down, and just faff about, really. If you schedule time in your diary for faffing about and watching stupid videos and things 100%. Like that, then you can I'm with you 100% on that, dude. 100%. I think creating that like space around you is one of the best things you can do for creativity. And just, I always think that, if I'm struggling with something, whether it's, podcast related or the business related or whatever, that just going out for a walk and just having space or a ride or whatever, you have your best ideas, like the Dudes at Hazzard stuff. At the time, I was like traveling loads on the factory team, and like almost every storyboard or little idea or I don't know, like connection in an edit always came about when I was on a flight. Right. Yeah. Because you don't have internet, you don't have anything. You're just on a flight with your notebook, your laptop with your tunes. Yeah. And it's just like having that time where you're like, can just put a little connection together here or there. Make stuff happen. So that was what I used to do back then, was like, yes, the flight's coming up, I can come up with a good idea. And now I try and set out a bit of time already, spend a bit more time in my shed, and definitely. I think it's something as well that you learn when you get a little bit older. I think, like, again, if we're, in a personal perspective, it was like, if you're really busy, with whatever, travel or whatever, it means you're busy and you're doing exciting stuff. But now, like, winding back totally, it's like I want to be less busy, because then the good ideas come up and you just work on that. And
that's it. That's and that's lockdown as well for you, isn't
it?
Dude,
100%.
Having a lot of people have used that to reset and
definitely. I think, again, like, lockdown has been a blessing for that side of things as well. You know, so many good ideas, just having that space and the weather helps as well. I think we've had a relatively nice few weeks, or few months, I'd say, even here in the UK. Good. So you can go out and spend time outdoors and just think. It's like really, really nice. It makes a big difference for sure. So that's one of the things, is it just creating space in your life so you can come up with crazy stuff. And
I think so, yeah.
And then also having time to make it. That must be a pretty.
I know. I'm constantly juggling time.
Right.
So that's just. I mean, I suppose everyone is, but it's like there's the fitness side of things, which takes a lot of not just time but also brain power. Like, if you do your intervals, it's not just the hour you're on your bike. You sort of, your brain's done for a bit.
Definitely.
Like that. So it's sort of balancing the fitness and what's required there, which I'm putting way more time into for the last couple of weeks and like the lead up to some actual racing. But then also I could spend every minute of every day making videos, so like for my own, even just for my own enjoyment. So just balancing the time, isn't it?
It is definitely. So everything pretty much came off with the Hazzard racing team then. You got the guys you wanted? That's it. Just started out, got all the brands on board. Lachlan, who rides on the team, he's I don't know, 7 years younger than me, I think. So, and we trained together 3 years ago. Loads, like, he started coming to my gym I've got in the shed, and sort of got a really good race plan for him. Helped him out at a couple of World Cups with my mechanic at the time on Canyon. Like, got him to go to the World Cups, which wasn't part of his deal, and helped Lachlan. Right.
And he got his 21st place at Fort William World Cup, which was like, we were so chuffed with that, like everyone involved. But the weekend after, he broke his femur in Leogang.
Oh no!
Hitting one of the big jumps, got a side wind.
Right.
And it's just like, oh, that's so devastating. But it's sort of a local guy with all the talent. Just such a good one to get involved in. So that was really cool. And I could get him on the team. He was on Canyon as well. It was like but not really to the level that he was deserving of, really, because they already sponsored way enough people, but they could help him a bit. So, that was really good to get Lachlan on, and then just got my mate Fergon, because he doesn't even race that much, but he does. I don't know. I couldn't replace him. He's too silly.
Amazing.
And that was it, really, and then just see how it goes. I mean, we're still learning, and the team's really young, and it's sort of like the second year, the big year to prove it.
Okay.
And then that's obviously all changed. So it's just totally.
So have you been out and done races as a team yet?
We did a load last year.
Okay.
But then also Lachlan broke 2 bones mid-season last year, so and my fitness wasn't 100% last year. Just so busy. Well, my son came along and setting the team up. So we had some good results. I won the Scottish Cup, won 3 or 4 races, but we were kind of like all just, year 2, let's do this.
Okay.
Like, we've had the time, we started training well early, we had a team camp in Nice.
Right.
Just getting the speed up and doing shuttling, and then, So, but I mean, you can't do anything, and, it's all good. So,
that's it, isn't it? There's like, what can you do? You can't complain about it, right? This is just everyone's in the same boat. I think it's going to be very strange when it comes around to like contracts and all that sort of stuff. But again, that's
definitely.
Well,
that's it. I know. Well, from the team perspective, the pitch and what we do has been, I don't know what the balance is. Maybe half media, half racing. So just flip that to being doing your videos, and with the cycle industry being really strong and sort of an extra push on the content, like, I think we've proved the team's worth through Corona.
Yeah, man, definitely.
So
it was so interesting watching how certain athletes responded to this. It was so interesting watching, like, so because some people have been and rightly so, just silent.
Mhm.
You don't hear from anybody, but certain athletes that are, you know, certain riders and stuff that have got that personality and that creativity, like you know, you flourish in this sort of thing. It's like, oh, time to make videos and create cool social media content and stuff. But it's been, you know, in a, like you're saying, in a way, a really good thing, because it's been interesting to watch it all play out and how people have. And I know, like from what I do with this, you know, it's been amazing. I mean, the numbers are just through the roof, because so many
that's
people
it. I mean, that's it. You got an opportunity. Well, took it as an opportunity as well.
You can sit around and cry about it, or you can do something about it and try and do something different and unique, right? Which is what, you know, like you did with your Lockdown Bite series, and, you know, and a few other athletes. I mean, Ollie's a good example too, doing launching some stuff, and
so going forward, so we'll just play it by ear, I think.
But again, I think that side of it's becoming so much more important for brands, right? Like, they're not going to be upset that you're not racing when you're creating cool content anyway, right?
Yeah, you're a safe bet then.
definitely, especially if it's unique like some of your stuff is, you know. But yeah, it's interesting. It was so cool seeing podcasts pop up as well. I mean, you know, Andrew's Nathan launched a podcast, Win launched a podcast, Lou launched a podcast. I watched
Win's one with Paigey, because I'm a big fan of both of them, but so that was cool. It's
cool,
good to see.
It's so good that so many things like that sort of just happen just because of that bit of space, and it's like, right, you need to sort of think about staying relevant and, you know, just do something different. And it's been cool. I think it's been only a good thing for the industry, definitely. You know, way more stuff like that happening. I know it was weird in the early days of doing this. It was like, you know, the only podcast for mountain biking around, and it's like, come on, people will jump on this pretty soon. It's cool that like now it's starting to get going a little bit more, you know. It helps everybody out, so more ears the better, for sure. So I want to know though, man, this is arguably one of the most interesting things for me, inspirations when it comes to videos and stuff like that. Like, who is it? Where's this crazy shit come from that you think of?
I don't know. Well, one of my main inspirations back in the days was John Peel. You know,
as in
radio DJ.
Radio DJ, yeah.
I think he's got a good mind, or had a good mind. So when I was at like high school, I don't even know when it was, but it must have been like 9 till 10, or it was about when I was going to bed. Radio
Peel
1.
sessions.
He always had I don't even know if it's called Peel Sessions, or if it was that. I think that's just his live. Sessions, but it was just his radio show. So I'd be like sitting there every night, cassette player, radio on, record every song, decide I don't really like it, rewind back, get the tape set, and then create these like incredible tapes with his music. And just the chat that went along with him, how eclectic the music was, like any style, just as if he liked it, that was it. And I think that was really cool. So that was probably like one aspect of it. And then the other thing I just started, well, the Dudes at Hazzard, the first ever video was at high school with a mate, Richard. We wanted to make one for the local film festival, and we did it with a guy he knew. He actually was one of the creators of Grand Theft Auto. So there's like a few Scottish boys did that, or became like millionaires.
No way. Really?
They all took shares instead of getting paid.
Wow.
Worked out for them. So he was one of those, and he was in Fort William, and he was helping us edit it. And he just, I don't know, I just found it so fascinating, everything he said. I don't even know if he had any background in film, but everything he said was so fascinating. I just took it all so to heart. So he set it out with like the story of the film, had like an intro, introduced the characters, then the plot, then there was like a disaster or a failing, then you overcome it, and then the finale.
Okay.
And it's like, wait a minute, every film I've ever seen, that's what happens. On like big films. But then you're like, well, why not make a 7-minute mountain bike film with the same style? Or same plot? Which I'd never really seen much like that. So I started trying to create these like storyline films. Where normally if you're away for a week, something dodgy will happen, or like all the aspects of the film will be there in some form. And it's just putting it into an edit. And that's kind of the way the Dudes at Hazzard worked, was like film the week, and then I'll create this like the flow of the film how I want it. So it's not just a mashup film, because there's infinite numbers of like good riding. It's a funny thing, good riding films.
Yeah.
But like try and create a story, and he just was talking this through, and I must have been about 14 or 15, and just thought, this is genius. Who is this guy? And then he moved away from Fort William. I've not seen him since.
No way.
But
Wow.
it's like that boy, maybe Peel, and then obviously Rankin.
Yeah.
And then probably them three. That's
right. So can you see this first video anywhere?
It's I have got it on my video.
Man.
It's locked.
Is it?
I haven't shown anyone.
Dude, you gotta YouTube it if there's ever a time.
Wildly similar to all films I've made since. Not all films, but like it's a bit more long-winded. Like we were just totally learning. It's like 13 minutes, and but yeah, I'll maybe fire it out.
Mate,
my mate Richard, who I did it with, he'd be chuffed to fire it out.
If there's ever a time to YouTube something like that, it's gotta be around now, hasn't it?
Yeah. And I was on a dark green orange with a black swing arm.
Were you really?
No coincidences.
Full PT style as well, all the way. And it's
a light shop because I loved it so much. So.
Wow, dude! If there's ever a time to get that out, that'd be so sick to put it out on YouTube and stuff.
Yeah,
definitely should do that.
And we look so young. Well, we are. So. So yeah, that's probably, I don't know about inspirations. Just liking stuff, isn't it? Like,
yeah.
I love the Bee Gees. I just don't know why. Ever since I was young, I've just been a huge fan. So if anyone can see past just like Steve Wright playing them on Radio 2 and just actually appreciate the music, then you'll get right into it.
Certainly, so, it's definitely an eclectic taste, the Bee Gees, mate.
I just really love them. So if I was going to do a virtual reality film, then it would actually be a dream to be in the Bee Gees. It's not even a joke. It's just that would be my
that
dream.
video you did so good, man. I don't think I appreciated it enough the first time round as to watching it. And the VR one with the line dancing had me absolutely in stitches the other night.
Yeah,
I thought I'd go back and revisit all of them in preparation.
Yeah,
for doing
a few of them were like, I was trying to do 2 a week, so I was like, and I was trying. Normally, I'm a bit like, not stressed, but a bit like, I really want to make every film I do really good. And then I was like, right, it's a lockdown bite. Fire them out. Yeah. Just create a bit of momentum. But then you start liking them for the imperfections and just being thrown together as well. So.
True.
Yeah,
Are you doing any more, or are we?
Well, I'm not sure. You can maybe help me. Am I allowed to call things lockdown bites anymore? Is it lockdown?
Oh, mate.
I mean, I make films, but I'm trying to figure out my branding because...
Yeah.
I don't know. I mean, I used to make Joe Barnes bites without lockdown in the title, so I might maybe just switch.
Go back to that.
I like the lockdown.
Yeah, the lockdown thing is a bit weird because we're still...
Well, we're totally locked down. We've got a structure around us, don't we?
Yeah, I think me and, again, Ollie and my thing, like, we ended it, but then we were a bit like, should we or should we not? But
yeah. And then you feel like it's the same product, but if you've rebranded it, how do you start pitching and like work out the introduction of the not lockdown series, which is the same? Kind of.
I know what you mean. It is strange because we are sort of still in it, but we're not. But I think the main thing for my little series that we did was that we were both just becoming too busy, and it was like because Ollie was going back to DMR to work and going on some trips and stuff like that, and it was like it's starting to become a bit like harder. When we were fully locked down, we could have done one every day, like it wouldn't have mattered. But then it was a bit like, I'm busy this day, you're busy this day, we're trying to schedule it all in. So, and then we organised a ride. I don't know if you saw it. We organised Freedom Ride down in Surrey, and it just all came together perfectly. It's like, it's the 4th of July, Independence Day, freedom. Let's just end it there, and then and then like you were saying, we'll just do something else. We'll just rebrand it. So we got like
come up with a new.
We're just going to do a new series, which will come out in a month or so.
Yeah. Well, that's the way to do it, isn't it? Yeah. And even if it's like having a reset from lockdown.
Yeah, definitely.
It's like, cool, we've done lockdown. Now I need to like come to terms with another way of living.
Mate, I'd be good if you didn't keep doing cool content like that. Though I think it's needed.
I'm gonna push it,
for sure.
And I'm just trying to do my latest one. I don't know. Did you watch Ali G the first time round?
In the House.
Yeah.
Or the series. Yeah, in the
series.
The series.
Or just the TV show.
Yeah,
so I missed it first time round. I don't know why. So when I'm doing my gyms, I just put the Ali G on YouTube, clips on. And it's so good. It just reminds you of a cheeky kid at school, like taking the piss out of everyone. It wasn't me. I was just, but it's still funny.
Yeah, so, is that like the ones where he had? Is it that series when he had like Mohammed Al Fayed on and stuff like that?
Yeah, yeah, he did actually. Yeah, but then so that was his ones. But they obviously knew he was like taking the piss. Yeah. But it's when he went to interview people who just thought he was from the street.
Like he did the drugs one, that was really funny.
Yeah, the drugs one was really good. Really and he did one on science. So I thought I'd do like, well, I actually do like doing hacks on my bike, like, so it's sort of half. Is this boy taking the piss, or is this actually true? I'm not sure. So I'll do one of those this week. So.
Yeah, man, I think again, I feel like it's, and I mean this in the nicest way possible. It's still a little bit too underrated. Like people need to be seeing your shit way more because it's so good, good. But it'll come.
Mm-hmm.
It'll come.
Yeah, it'll come. Well, that's it. It's hard to know because, like, obviously, I've always branded myself under like the dudes at Hazzard, for example.
Yeah.
And never as my own name.
Got you.
So, but I don't know. There'll be a connection.
And it's just time as well. It's not being scared of putting in the man hours to make it happen.
Oh, totally.
You know what I mean? Oh, and I think that's the thing now. Everyone wants an instant result. It's like, oh, my YouTube video only got 1,000 views. Waste of time. It's like, no, but your next one and the next one might also slowly start creeping up, and it's just putting the time in it.
Yeah, I know. I'm going to try and avoid there's the modern way of things. It's like the algorithm, the evil algorithm, which kind of cool, but it's good to do it. It's good to do the content as you want it. Finish your project.
Yeah.
And then if it's if it's not 30 minutes long to get more people to watch or anything, then
just do it for the sake of what you want to do in it, and not then, feeling like you're doing it for, like you said, for the algorithm is YouTube's tough with podcasts for sure, because people...
is it? I was thinking that'd be good because they're like so long, so you get.
But it seems audio is the one, because like my audio figures are like, I'd say sometimes 50, 60 times what a YouTube one is. And it's really weird, even though there's a little bit of visual now, because I do use the video a little bit, but people just don't seem to want to sit and watch a full podcast. They'll just throw it in their ears and pick it up as you're driving or whatever, riding or whatever.
Yeah. So it's not going to grow as much on.
No, YouTube's
video format. You don't.
A little slower. I think unless you have like a really high-end production, something like Joe Rogan, for example. It's visually really pleasing because of the camera changes and. They've got a producer who can bring stuff up on screen. Yeah. It's just... It's
a different vibe then.
It's totally worth
I've not actually seen his, but I've seen snippets. They're quite a bit shorter though, are they? Or does he just edit them out?
3 hours, usually.
Oh, they are huge. Oh, and then he just takes snippets.
Yeah, and then there's like clip things that they do. Like, there's a separate YouTube called JRE Clips, I think, and they'll just do like clips of it.
Yeah, okay.
But again, like some of the clips that I've done in the past have worked pretty well. Taking little bites of stuff out and putting something.
That's a lot of edit time,
dude. It's so much, so much.
That together.
Yeah, it is.
Can't underestimate the time it takes just to.
Yeah, definitely. And again, that's when we're coming towards the end of this lockdown series, and it's like, look, I literally can't keep doing 2 hours a day, 2 days a week on podcast because it's just not feasible anymore. Yeah. So. But it helps though. It does. Those little clips and YouTube stuff and Instagram clips, they do really help. But it's sometimes you do have to be mindful about like, right, how much time are we actually putting into this thing? It's pretty crazy.
Yeah.
But
well, that's one of my dad's sayings. It's only effort.
Yeah, it's fair.
That's a saying to live by.
Yeah, that's a good.
Effort's free.
It's true. I'll use that, mate, on my thoughts of the day. I reckon that's a good one. It's only effort and effort's free.
With it.
Definitely, dude. Definitely.
Yeah, people are precious of their effort.
Definitely, mate. I'm with you on that.
That's 100%.
100%. So, how much time would you usually put into a YouTube video? Would you say? Because you do all of the animation must take.
Yeah, the animations took a while, but I don't do that all the time. I only try and do that for a series, and then and another boy did them years ago, Henry Cruikshank. But I've done the latest.
Self-taught as well, right?
Yeah. You take loads of photos and put them together. That's what I heard. So
seems to work, dude.
Yeah. So that, and then I mean I don't know. Yeah, it just depends if it clicks, really. I think, wasn't it like the Bee Gees when I made it and then just wasn't happy at all. It just didn't flow that well. So then I went out and just filmed like 2 little bits of chat, and then it suddenly worked for me.
Right.
But either way, you're just sort of tagging days on and trying to slot them into your other life. So so it just kind of depends, really. But
there's a shot where you were singing with the Bee Gees, dude, which is just genius. So good.
I wasn't sure whether to put my audio on or not, but I thought, no, I'll keep it like virtual reality, so it's supposed to be good. And I've done ones with like making songs in the past. In fact, for that race we did, the promo for it every year was a Christmas #1 campaign single.
Okay.
Wow. So it was always like a terrible song. It's the promo for the race, and that became a little.
You're a bit of a singer then.
Terrible singer, but like wannabe though. Like, I just think that'd be the cool. Surely that'd be the coolest thing ever, being in a band.
I think so. Start one, dude.
I know, but
I mean, you got the shed.
I never spoke to anyone when I was younger, let alone start a band. So it's like just living through stupid things now. But that I would love to do something more with music one day. So yeah, I don't really know how long, but bits and bobs.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
So I wanted to talk to you about riding as well, because at some point we've got to talk a little bit about riding. Again, super unique. The content you make's unique. The riding's pretty unique, especially with where you live, with gnarly ruts, and you've definitely carved out a path. That's a good pun, actually. You've carved out a path of being that sort of rider, like a rut rider.
Yeah.
So, do you adjust like the riding style much when it comes to the racing? Because I've seen in an interview that like you switch bike sizes, right? So you medium at home and then you for playing.
Yeah. I think it's part of the psychology of having too many options, and being a racer is you're never sure what bike size to ride.
Okay.
I think every single rider's like that.
Yeah.
But anyway, I normally go up a size just for a bit more stability, and the tracks are generally always a bit faster and easier.
Yeah.
But yeah, I do have to switch. That was a Fabian Burrell insight one day at team camp for Canyon. He was following me down and like going pretty, give or take a similar speed. But I would always come down the inside and square the turn off. Because that's just the way you have to ride mud, basically.
Yeah.
You just sort of free fall to the next bit of grip, which is normally a rut. So, and you just get used to that without even thinking about it. So he was like, come on, you've got to arc the turns here. So I started being like, right, every year before the season, I need to go somewhere and practice arcing turns.
Right.
So that was quite nice. And even just chatting to like Miles, the local lad, he was saying, Michaela, his girlfriend, she's always riding down the inside of turns. And it's like, it's just a mindset thing. So pros and cons, but I suppose it's very rainy and very soft ground here. So kind of shape the way you ride. I was exceptionally obsessive in my youth with practicing riding a bike.
Okay.
I don't know anyone. Yeah, obviously there's loads of obsessive people about it, but like I just left school just to practice riding my bike every single day, all day long.
Right.
Going around cones.
Oh, really? Yeah.
I think it's just purely just really tried hard. And like, just really, really tried hard to ride my bike. Kind of style comes from whatever you.
Yeah. So what? A lot of flat turns, just car park stuff, gravel stuff.
Well, I think it must have been fundamentals. Bryn Atkinson just do a cutty around this stone, and I was like, how? This doesn't work.
I've seen your tutorial actually the other day.
Yeah,
it's
I did
really
that
good.
one the other day.
Yeah.
I was like, how many videos can I make doing a cutty? Because that's like the only safe thing I can do on lockdown. Cutty and a bunny hop. Like, anyway, how to? So yeah, then I just took me about a year probably.
Right.
To be able to slide my back wheel and not wash the front out and not use my brakes and stuff. So, just practicing loads and loads and loads.
Yeah. I love the riding style though, dude. I think it's always a highlight when you do it in edits, and there's a Scottish section, and it's you guys just railing.
Yeah.
Slippy, horrible, muddy ruts.
Yeah, no, it comes through. It was good, really cool British Pie. Tommy doing that film, it was well good seeing all the different UK segments. And then I missed the first one, I was injured, and then I got involved in the second one, and I was loving it. So it was, it's like, that was cool to see all different UK styles, because they are all a wee bit different.
Definitely, yeah. I think it was really cool, actually. A few weeks ago, going down to Surrey and riding, a bike park, which is like where I live. It's super rocky. The Peak District's pretty much everything's gritstone. Yeah. So to go down there and you experience such a different style of riding. Yes, they've got a bike park like Rogate and many more like Windhill and whatever. But it is weird how like different the riding is in different parts of the UK. Like you come to Scotland and it's just so alien to a lot of people. I bet a lot of people from the south would come up there and be like, "What? How on earth do you ride this? Like it's so different."
Definitely.
But
well, it's good to travel then from a racing perspective. And I spent a couple of winters in New Zealand as well in my youth, which really helped. I think I improved loads both times I went there.
So what's your favourite style of riding then? Is it local rutty stuff or?
Yeah. I like really dodgy. I just really enjoy dodgy, steep, loose tracks where you sort of trying to control the bike rather than trying to go really quickly. It's probably like my favourite. So the mountain paths are pretty good for that, and then just real steep, sketchy tracks. It's good. I always like Latwheel World Series from a race perspective, because that was the closest to not trying to go quickly, more just trying to ride your bike as controlled as possible. So but I'd say favourite. That's my favourite style. I'm not really. There's no real jumps in Fort William apart from the bottom of the downhill tracks, so I've never done a dirt jump, sadly. So I should do.
Really, no.
Never too old to try. But that like flowy dirt jump tracks, which people love, I've just literally never got involved in.
That's crazy.
I've been to Whistler 7 times, I think. I've never ridden A-line.
Really?
I was chuffed with that. That's thing. People like, you can't ride A-line. Nope. I'm 5 years in. I'm not doing it. Just ride out the park and it'll be all good.
That's quality. That's funny though. Again, it's different riding styles, different areas, isn't it? That's funny though, man, that you've never ridden dirt jumps before. That's so funny.
Yeah.
You just don't have any in Scotland, no? There must be a trail.
No, they're really good ones in Inverness.
Right.
It's only an hour and a half away. But
I guess you've got to have a setup too. You've got to have a dirt jump bike. If you don't have one of those, it's tough.
It's not the West Coast style, really.
The West Coast.
No, exactly.
Oh dear. So this shed then, I'm super interested to know about the shed as well, dude.
Yeah.
It's pretty iconic, the shed. I guess
with your
branding
that's it. Because it's based a few videos from here.
And what's your living situation out of interest? So do you live there?
Yeah, I just live next door.
Okay.
Like my mum's got a house, and then I lived over the road, but then built this on my parents' land.
Okay.
With my dad.
Yeah.
So it's
It's where you hang out most days.
Yeah, pretty much.
It's like a boys' club.
Yeah, office, gym, workshop, storage. So it's kind of just. It's not huge, but it's got everything you need.
I think it's every dude's dream, right? It's just
that's it. I think I saw an image when I was younger of like it's probably a very long time ago, like the Backstreet Kids. Is that a thing? A magazine, like in the Beano. Sounds like the Backstreet Boys, but I think it's the Backstreet Kids or something. Anyway, they had this little clubhouse, and it was called the Clubhouse.
Right.
They were all in it, and it had like the dartboard and all the cool stuff. And I was like, that'd be so nice to have something like that. So the image just stuck in my mind all years, and then finally made my own one.
Crazy, early inspiration.
And I just live in a caravan.
Right.
It's a caravan. It is a caravan. It's on wheels, but it's called a chalet because it's about triple the weight of a static.
Okay.
That's what the delivery boys told me when they were a bit annoyed. This isn't a static. So I put that in.
Okay.
And that's good. And then.
So you put it off the grid, or how?
No, we're right next door to a housing estate.
Okay.
Just right beside it. And then I just got a house on the estate.
Okay.
was a bit annoying with the paperwork in lockdown, but it's happened now. So I'll move into there probably in the winter.
Okay.
Just a bit more space, having the son as well.
Yeah.
My Fiona and son Bo. So, but that's only part of the reason of getting that house was it's only 100 meters away, so I'll keep this shed.
I love it, dude, that you got a shed. Like you say, it's every dude's dream. It's something that I've struggled with recently with, buying a house and not, unless you've got land and, you can build something. Like, I don't have a place for most stuff. I've just got shit, I mean, like bikes in here and all sorts of stuff. So just a dream of having a garage sort of shed set up is...
It does work really well, because I keep, I've got washing machine, tumble dryer in here, and so I get changed in the shed.
Yeah.
So it's like another room to the house as well.
Are you good at separating like the riding, how do you put it, like the riding and the sort of like the business side of mountain biking away from your house then, or do they...
No.
Oh, really?
Well, the house isn't too cluttered, maybe a few cameras dotted about, but I'm just on my laptop editing all evening.
Right.
Get sleepy eyes. So I don't. I kind of sometimes think, right, I'm gonna really do this properly, and I've got the office in the shed, and I'll do it, do that, and then relax. But they just always merge in the end.
I went to a friend's house recently. Well, it's quite a while ago actually. Now thinking about it, he was a speedway rider, and we did a podcast. It's called Ty Woofenden, world speedway champion. And you go to his house, and you literally would have no idea what he does for a living. There's not a single aspect of speedway inside the house. But as soon as you step outside the front door, and it's he's a speedway rider. There's the garages and all the stuff everywhere. But he's really good at
envy him for that. That's quite quite nice, really.
Keeping it super separate. And I think I've had to do something quite similar in lockdown, because I need this little space in the house of right, this is where I work, and then outside of here is just living and getting away from work. I think it's quite important, especially when you are in lockdown, to try and separate things a little bit, and it's otherwise it all mingles into one and you never break from it. Do you know what I mean? And sometimes you need that, we're saying about just space, you need that separation sometimes.
Oh, you've done well there. I know I could definitely do a little bit better at the switching off, which clearly you would do that by keeping a space free from
separate
work, but it's hard to do as well, because you get tempted in.
100%, especially when you're running your own business. And has that been a bit of a change, I guess, from being a sort of, paid rider to having to do all that stuff yourself? It's quite a big difference. Well, it was, to be honest, it was just a big difference in the sort of 5 months setting up the team. Now I've got a working relationship with everyone that's similar. It's pretty similar now, I'd say. It just took that big shift to get it going. Right, yeah.
So, it's all good.
Good.
Because you still have a manager, and you still look at your own flights and do all that on a team. So you still... Yeah.
It's fair. Yeah, it's fair. Do you think, how long, and what's the future of Hazzard Racing then? What do you got going on?
Oh, that's a good question. I don't know. I mean...
Let's plug the team.
Plug the team, I know. Well, see out this year, in whatever form it may take, would be the start, and then just see. I've really wanted to do these UK festivals. I did the Naughty Northumbrian last year. That was really we took the full team there, got Ferg there as well, and I've wanted to do Hard Rock. So I'm not sure.
Okay.
Videos, lots of videos, and I'll mix them. This year actually seems to have worked really well for me, because I've done a couple of big team films where we've done trips, and I've put them out as Hazzard Racing, and then I've put out my own videos as my bites or just under my own name. So I think I'll continue doing that and just build the brand of Hazzard. We sold Enduro jerseys. We've got the Hazzard Emporium shop.
Oh, cool.
They all sold out in 4 hours.
Really? Yeah.
So it's it's quite cool to see people backing it.
We should see if we can help out, do some merch and stuff for you. So with Hooking, we do custom merch. Do something.
Oh, do you?
Yeah, we do frame protection kits and mud guards and stem caps and stuff like that. So see if we can do something together. That'd be pretty cool, wouldn't
it? Yeah. So that's quite a nice aspect. It's just tying in all these aspects, isn't it? And creating something you're really chuffed with.
Yeah,
So
definitely.
continue to do that, I think.
Cool, man. Cool.
Yeah.
Sounds like it's going to be an awesome journey. I can see it
Yeah,
flourishing and, you know, taking on
yeah,
more of a brand and stuff like that, to be honest. I think
I think the potential's there. I think the branding potential's really strong with it. So
definitely.
see where that goes.
I tried watching the original Dukes of Hazzard film the other day.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
I think I've seen it.
It's good, man.
Was it? Is that
Not the film, sorry. No, I'm lying to you. The
TV show?
remake with Johnny Knoxville.
Oh, the remake.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I've seen that once. I think that was actually that guy Gordy from Grand Theft Auto. He came up with the name.
Did he?
Yeah, because I'd never seen the Dukes of Hazzard.
Right.
And he was like, "This'll work."
It's
I'm
cool.
Like, yeah,
It's good name,
sounds
man.
good. And
Real
then you
good
just
name.
never question it, and then you just use it forever. I'm like, oh, for them.
Heaps good
So
name.
yeah, I mean, it worked. It's got like a team. Always had that sort of team atmosphere to the name.
Yeah, definitely. Cool, man.
Yeah.
Should we do some listener questions?
You okay?
Get you out of here. All right, man. Let's see what we've got. Oh my god. Okay. Listener questions. Thanks again to everyone who submits these. It's always very kind of you. All right. Hub Custom Bicycles. What do you think of the trail named after you in Fort Bill?
Lovely trail. That used to be a
What's the
red.
story of that then? I don't know it myself.
It's
So.
the one from the top of the gondola. It used to be called the Red Run or Red something, and then it was clearly wasn't a red. It was a black. So lots of people flipping over the bars.
Right.
So they decided to change the name to something else, and then kindly asked me if they could call it the Top Chief
Sick.
Black Run. I was
That's
like,
awesome.
yeah, fair enough. I've never actually worked on it, so I can't claim any. Well, I used to work on a downhill track when I left school as the course builder, but that was before this trail came.
Right.
So yeah, that's the story behind it, and it's like 12-minute long, pretty technical run top to bottom.
Mm-hmm.
And I use that as a training run, so up there all the time.
Is it not far from your house too, I guess?
It's just like 5 miles, yeah.
Okay.
So get to the gondola. So it's a well worth a trip, and they're just building a blue run from the top now as well, so they'll have
Oh, really?
sort of black and then the downhill track. So
Sick.
yeah,
Pretty
So
good.
yeah, good track.
All right, we got on the same topic, Leo Coyle Smith. All right, how do I talk my friends out of riding the World Cup track in Fort William? They're game as anything, but have no idea what they're gonna let themselves in for.
I wonder is he going to ride it?
That's
Is he thinking he's better than his mates?
question. Yeah,
Is that what's going on here?
that is a fair question.
I don't know. It is all rollable, but you definitely want a decent bike.
Yeah.
I would say.
I think his
Yeah.
friends could be those dudes that have never been, that have watched it on
Yeah.
TV, and when you watch
yeah,
that on TV, you go,
Yeah.
it looks all right. I can
know.
get down that.
Come
and
off
then,
come off the first section on the boardwalk, Marshall Point 6, and then just turn down them rocks, and it's a shock. Gets people.
reality check.
Yeah, reality check definitely. And then just push down from there. Maybe buy a one run pass just to be.
Yeah, all right. Yeah, don't talk them out of it, but don't spend too much money. Just buy one
Yeah,
ticket.
exactly. Experience the carnage. But then you could always go and do the Top Chief Black run if it's too much.
Sure.
So there's option.
Yeah. So where the start ramp is at the top.
Yeah, there's that big eye thing. You
Yeah.
just go west, so
Okay.
carry on past that, and then it's all the way down the ridge.
Oh, sick.
Yeah, it's really good.
I've not been up there for a while since World Cup. Wow, 2018, I guess, was probably the last time I
Oh
came
yeah,
up.
couple of years. Yeah,
A couple of years ago.
yeah. Oh, that's cool. Yeah, if you're up, bring your trail bike.
Yeah, man. Let's do
Loads
it.
of track. Yeah.
What else we got going on? Obviously, we got a Fraser Frazzle. You got to ask you, who is your favourite BG?
Oh yeah. Oh, they're all so special. Brother Morris.
Okay, how
He's
many
the one
is
who
there?
doesn't. What's that?
How many is there?
3.
3 BGs.
Yeah.
Okay.
Barry, Robin, and Morris. But he's the one who doesn't do any solo singing, apart from Man in the Middle. But you're just not sure if if they've actually turned his mic on.
Oh, really?
But then there's the beautiful harmonies, so he must be doing something.
You're a
So I
full
love
fan, right?
Morris.
Full
Yeah.
BGs fan.
I'm a fan of loads of bands, but it's one of them.
Okay. What's your... Alright, okay. It's one from me. What's your go-to album? Favourite album of all time?
Buck 65. Don't know if you heard him. Worth a Google. Good guy from America. He does like these It's kind of like hip hop.
Okay,
But
Book 65.
And he does one Weirdo Magnet, and it's down as Weirdo Magnet re-release on Spotify.
Okay.
That's a good one.
All right.
And a very strange, but it's well good. So I'd listened to that loads. That's probably like the most listened to.
Is it? All right, I'm going to check that out because I'm a bit of a hip hop fan myself, man.
Oh
so-
yeah, well yeah,
Okay, I'll check
it's
that
got
out.
really crafty lyrics.
Okay,
Yeah,
Book 65.
yeah.
All right.
So that's probably my favourite album, or the Bee Gees' greatest hits.
Oh, of course, mate. Of course.
There's probably about 300 songs, so you've got to just take the greatest hits song.
Yeah. At Dominic.Clucky, would you ever make a rut trail and fill it with beans for some sick shots?
That's a genius idea.
It is a good idea, man. That makes a good
So
video,
am I.
right?
Just like eating baked beans too much, though.
Beans and what's the favourite
Beans and
thing
grit.
with beans and what?
Grit in that instance.
Oh, right.
But, Worcestershire sauce.
Okay.
Worcestershire.
Yeah, yeah.
And a bit of cheese. That's probably my go-to.
On bread?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Bread, yeah.
Okay. I thought it meant just
Yeah.
like in a bowl. Would be...
On a bowl.
That's just
Nah,
savage.
I've been desperate a few times in the van. Just get the tin cracked and just get the spoon in there. Cold beans.
Living the dream, mate.
Yeah, that is the dream.
That
Isn't
is the dream, mate. In a motorhome somewhere in Europe with some cold beans, that is.
it? Yeah.
That's where it's at.
Yeah.
Okay, I get this must be like I don't know the beans thing. Is that just because he's supposed about beans a lot? Where's this come from?
Not especially, but I do like them. So. No, maybe.
It's nice that your fans and people know that, though, isn't it? It's pretty
Yeah.
cool.
Yeah.
That's pretty cool.
Right, spotted it.
Yeah.
Keyed in on beans.
What's the best onion for pickling with? Dimebolt 22B.
Hey, I don't know. Well, I've never had a purple onion pickled,
Okay.
so
never-
maybe I could
Yeah, red
maybe I
onion.
could recommend that to Morrison's.
Yeah, it could be a business.
Yeah,
Why has no one ever pickled a red onion then? Do you think that's weird, eh?
yeah, that's really weird. It's
Don't
not the
know.
market for it.
No, maybe not. Never thought
So-
about that before. It's always a white onion.
White one, yeah,
Or a
and
shallot.
tiny ones.
Yeah, interesting times.
Yeah, we did the pickle. We only ate.
You do a lot of
Hold on.
pickling yourself, do you?
Nah, well, we just were going the 2 weeks before lockdown. I was like, the season, like we're doomed. The season's over. Like as far as a Hazzard racing perspective, is like, how can we run a team when you can't even see the boys on the team?
Yeah.
So we're like, right, quick, let's get a trip in. So we went up north in my camper, and went to Aldi, which was pretty devastated.
With it,
But
yeah. No toilet roll.
nobody had bought any pickled onions. So we're like, right, that's it. 2 crates of pickled onions, and we'll do this. So, this is Flight of the Pickled Onions, I called the film.
Oh, right. Amazing. Okay, I did see that.
Yeah,
Maybe the
so-
pickled onion thing could be like a diet fad you could start. You know, like one of
Yeah,
these
yeah.
American diets that they do, where it's
Yeah.
soup or whatever. You could just do pickled onion.
Puts you off eating anything else. 'cause
Yeah,
it's
it's like
so
potato diet, cabbage diet,
pickled onion.
pickled onion
I wonder if
diet.
they're good for you.
Probably not in
probably.
that quantity. I feel like you
Ah.
would probably go. Would you go acidic? You go like a really acidic body.
Yeah.
And you'd
We
stink.
we got a crate of like normal ones and a crate of ones that said they were sweetened.
Right.
So, and you start
So
getting
one
a,
for
like
dessert,
sweat.
you mean?
You get a bit sweaty paws. Yeah, one for dessert. Just aperitif.
Oh dear.
Yeah.
Next one. At Kerno Freeze. What was your first bike and favourite bike?
Well, all sorts of bikes. First bike that I bought and wasn't just acquired was a giant warp, full suspension, Huck machine. What was the second part of the question?
What's first bike
Favourite.
and favourite bike?
Favorite
Favourite
bike.
bike, yeah.
Favorite bike probably when I went from. I always had a downhill bike, and then I had a Cove Stiffy hardtail as my second bike,
Yeah.
but then I swapped that out for Orange 5.
Right.
So the OG Orange 5.
Sick. Okay. OG Orange 5. It was pink, was it?
Yep, fluoro pink.
You yeah.
Yeah, good.
What else we got? Alright, just a couple more, man. Adam Barker
Okay.
13. How are the chickens? I think that could be aimed at me. If you've got chickens there as well, right?
Yeah, I do.
Yeah, I got chickens.
How many have
too.
you got?
I only got one left now. We had 2 pass away. But this whole chicken thing became a bit of a running joke because I mentioned it once on the podcast and how I had to. It's a long story, man. I had to basically make sure that it wasn't egg bound.
Oh, they get huge swollen bellies, don't they? I think they do get egg bound.
Yeah, and you have to feel it and make sure there's no egg in there. Yeah.
Yeah.
So.
And was there?
No.
Or did it just not do it? There wasn't.
No.
Yeah, my girlfriend Fiona does all the googling and research on why the chickens look so ill sometimes.
Yeah. Have you just got like ex-battery ones?
We've got we've got not chicks, but 6-month-old, I think.
Okay. Right.
And then they do really good laying for a couple of years, and then just start being just shit everywhere and don't lay any eggs for a couple of years.
That's
after
where
that.
I'm at right now with the last one.
It's nice, isn't it?
Yeah, it's really annoying. But
Yeah,
we've got,
really
like,
annoying.
a super small garden too, so it's just literally just shit basically. It's not good.
I know, and they're like kind of following you about, so it's we've got a garden that just backs onto the woodland, so they could just go out there, but I'd much prefer to sit on your doorstep.
Just leave your presents when you come out barefoot. I know. Yeah. Mate,
but they're good. We lost one a while ago.
Yeah.
Nah.
A couple of years and that's it. But we've got one now that's 3 and looks as healthy as the day she was born, mate. It's just, it won't.
They're a miracle, so it's good to support them. Yeah. They eat mud and give you an egg.
And eggs are awesome, man. I love eggs. Because when we had 3. Sometimes we get like 5-6 eggs a day.
Oh wow!
Because sometimes they double lay. They do like 1.2 eggs a day, don't they? So sometimes you end up. Yeah, they do like 1.2, which means every now and again you get a double day. And oh man, I've never eaten so many omelets and stuff in my life.
You just get into it, don't you?
Yeah, just smashing omelets all the time.
Rich eggs, so worth it. If you don't mind your garden getting scraped up, well worth it.
True. All right, 2 more questions. George from the Gorge, actually.
Oh,
dude, here he is. Where does he get those crazy songs from his edits? For his edits, that's a good question actually, because songs are hard to find, and also licensing's tough. So how are you? Yeah,
well, I used to be a Vimeo man just so I could be a bit cheeky with licensing, but now it seems pretty legit that YouTube just, whether it's good or bad, put an advert on it and then the BGs get paid the money. So you kind of like, it's almost, I don't know if it's encouraged, but if you're willing to accept an advert being put on your video for the gains that you get from playing that song, then that's fine. So
I just do that. Is it? So rather than you getting the ad revenue,
they get it.
Oh, really? Right. Yeah. Oh, that's interesting.
And then by doing that, it's fine. So I mean, I'd prefer to just, I always try and go a bit obscure anyway, and but then it's weird, like you do some songs, or I put a song on and it's quite it's like not popular, but it's definitely a song, and then it's not like detected, or like they haven't licensed it, and then you put on like the worst panpipes cover ever, and there's like 2 boys in South America have licensed the song. Like, it's not even your song. How are you getting the ad revenue?
I had some issues with those lockdown ones with putting covers on the end of YouTube videos. Because Zeb, who's a friend of the podcast, does all our intro and music and stuff. Yeah. He was doing covers, and he'd like cover, I don't know, Led Zeppelin or whatever, but it wasn't Led Zeppelin, it's him. But then as soon as you put it on, you get a copyright claim. And then you have to remove it. It's just a nightmare. Yeah, it's a nightmare. But I was curious how you were doing that, actually, so it's a good question.
Yeah, so that's the way. But most of the time, just try and do your... Go obscure enough that you don't...
Where you discover music from?
Mostly YouTube. It's quite a good platform, really, for music. Yeah. Because Spotify's a little bit too clean cut, I think. Okay. Although Spotify's good, I've got a load of Cambodians like cover songs from the 60s from there.
Really?
They're really good, yeah.
Do you have a playlist that you share with people?
No, I've never done that. I was going to actually. I made a graphic for it already, but I haven't got around to doing it.
That'd be cool.
Yeah, so I've got a playlist on Spotify which it's just called Film Tunes, and any song that I like or think's got I might not particularly like the song, but it's got like an emotion to it, and I'll put it on my playlist. So
okay, we should definitely do that. That'd be cool. Get that out.
You can just share, just like make a link off a playlist, can you?
Yeah. You just change the name of it even, if you wanted to I don't know, whatever you call it. Joe's Crazy Tunes or some shit, I don't know, but you should do that for sure. People seem to look, like you can tell with even the questions, people are like, oh, where's the music coming from? So,
the music's always a good one. I think you can, part of the infinite choices of doing films, of making films, want to like matching music to scenes is fun and good to do. So.
Definitely.
Yeah.
Last question, a good one to end on, I think. Would you rather be remembered as a racer or just as a rider/dude? That's from Bob T. Knob.
Bob the Knob.
Bob T. Knob. Bob the Knob. Great Instagram handle there, buddy.
Oh my God, that's a question. I don't know. I feel like I pushed the Enduro scene did quite a good job on that at the time. By being professional and introducing it to the professionalism to it. Oh man, I don't know. I suppose it depends how long I make videos, and like when we was younger, there was no such thing as particularly as lifestyle athletes, was there?
No. True.
So like all the people from my slightly above my generation now, they just stopped racing and did a job, or like jobs in the sport. So it was like Chris Ball was a Scottish guy, Stu Thompson was a Scottish guy, Paul Angus, that was like the tier, Rowan Sorrell.
Yeah.
So it just depends I suppose if the next portion of my career is outdoes the racing side of it, if I go that way. I haven't really but it's an interesting question.
Fair point actually. Now you can transition into like a lifestyle sort of a brand ambassador and do that sort of side of it, can't you?
I think I'd be very careful I was doing it right myself and not just doing it for the sake of it, but then I do love making videos, and if it's a way I can do that legit, then probably try and do it. So I don't know, I'm going to try and get some more good results anyway.
We'll catch up in a couple of years and see, maybe 5 years, 10 years, something, see where we're at.
Get a few more
episode 1000.
Put me down for 1000. I'll be there.
We'll mark it in now.
Definitely. I don't know, too difficult. Bob T. Knob, great Instagram handle. We'll do both, and you won't worry. That's a good one. How do you spell knob?
It's just Knob. BOBT KNOB.
Need to get him on.
He's committed with that one. Oh man, classic. All right, dude. Well, thank you so much for taking time out.
My pleasure.
And having a waffle. Is there anything you don't think we've covered which you wanted to mention, plug, sponsors, all that sort of stuff?
No, I'm good. You've already plugged my wee video series, which was the latest project. Cool.
There'll be a link in the show description to your channel. Let's do that, because then people can find it.
Lockdown adventure for me, and then see what goes from here. So I'm chuffed. Thanks for having me on,
mate. Absolute pleasure. Like I say, it's been a long time coming, I think, this one, so it's good to finally connect and have a chance to sit and chat. So thank you, man. We'll have to catch up properly soon for a bike ride once we're out of
definitely
somewhere.
It's not far off.
Ride ruts maybe. And, and dude, again, thank you so much for taking time out. And we'll wrap it up here, man, if that's okay.
Bye.
Yeah.